Today's recipe is a big one. It's homepage optimization. Everybody has a homepage. It's one of your most important pages on your site. And most importantly, it is probably the biggest thing that new visitors are looking at. Now, if you think about how people navigate to websites now, they're going to search for something specific, Hilton Wedding Photographer, Sacramento, and the results they find are likely not going to be home pages. They're going to be posts or galleries or something specific to the search they're looking for. So one of the trends we're seeing now is the percentage of traffic received by your homepage is actually quite small. For my site, I think it's 5% or less. So most people are coming in deep to pages. So the people that do go to your homepage are likely going to be first-time visitors. They may have been referrals, but you need to write those pages for people that don't know you yet. This will take about 2 hours. Starting with, you need to write a couple paragraphs about yourself. It surprises me when I hit a photographer website without a lot of information on the main page, and one of the first things I want to know is, who are you as a photographer? Are you in my area, and what kind of services do you offer? So you want to do that right up front. I think a good example of this is Kristen Melito, where the first thing you see is all about her. She tells what cities she services, what niches, a little bit about her style. You can read about her, and then it gets immediately into some featured posts. So within 10 seconds, I have a really clear impression of who I'm going to work with, and I really like that about Kristen's site. The next thing you want to do is make a goal for your homepage. So if you don't know what you want users to do, you're leaving it up to them to kind of figure it out. Where instead you can drive them through some sort of action that's going to help grow your business. For example, you might want users to connect with you, like on Facebook or social media. You might want to drive them into featured posts or related posts. For my site, I start with what's going to make me money. Then I sandwich it with good content from the blog, and then back to a hook, which is going to get them to sign up for something, because if they sign up for one of these things, I'll capture an email address, and now it's in my control. I can follow up with you whenever I'd like. A little bit of social proof indicating that I am credible, and then back into sign up or view my best stuff or learn about me, and then I've got some social media. So order your homepage based on the priorities of things you'd like to accomplish. I think a newsletter is something that's really important, because if you can get a newsletter, you can market to them later. If they follow you on social media, there's a good chance they're going to return to your site. And of course, you want them to call you, so make sure your contact information is very clear. For search engine purposes, for ranking well, you need to optimize your homepage title. The title of your site is the number one thing that's going to get it to rank. So if your title is simply your name, like Zach Prez Photography, Google doesn't know that your site is really about wedding photography in Sacramento. So you need to use the words that you want to rank for in the title of your homepage. And the title of your homepage is what you see in this tab at the very top when you mouse over it. So mine's Business Education for Photographers. And you can also type site : and then your site name into Google, and what shows here are all your page titles. So that's what people are going to see when it shows in Google, and that's what Google is going to use to match it against what somebody's looking for. So a good example of a title is Premier Sacramento Wedding Photographer, and I use Premier to kind of make it stand out a little bit, because if I do a search for Sacramento Wedding Photographer, I get a lot of kind of bland stuff. So here's a home page for a wedding photographer, affordable wedding photographer, wedding photographer Sacramento, Sacramento wedding photography. None of these are separated from each other. They're all kind of the same. None of them jump out. So if you add a word like premiere or top or classic, retro, any one single adjective is going to make yours stand out. Sacramento's top wedding and portrait photographer is an example if you want to try and showcase two niches at the same time. You don't want to overdo it. If you get too long, you'll get the ... at the end. And if you try and cram too many cities or too many niches into one title, well, then your page doesn't become about anything specific. Because when somebody searches, they're not searching for wedding and portraits. They're searching for one or the other. So the more other things you add, the less specific your page is and the less likely to rank. So be as specific as possible, and pretty soon we'll get to recipes on how you can use other pages to rank for the secondary things that are important to you. So how do you update the page title? Usually there's a settings area where you can do that. You might have to ask your website provider because it's different for every website system. But in WordPress, there's a few places it might be. It might be under Settings, General, Site Title. Might be in one of your SEO plugins, like All-in-One SEO General Settings. Here's your homepage title. So take a look around in some of your menu items. You could probably find something that says homepage title or site title, or again, ask your website provider. The other thing you may have noticed is every search result has a little description under it. If we go back to that search for wedding photographers, when all of these titles are the same, this description also can help set you apart from everybody else. That's called a meta description. So you want to write that with a real marketing focus. The only people that will see it, the only place that appears is search engines. So you don't have to worry about offending your existing clients. Really, this is a description specifically for search. It can be up to about 160 characters. You want to include your name, your experience, tell them what to do, maybe a phone number. So for example, Zach Prez offers award-winning wedding photography for Sacramento's top venues. That talks about my name, my experience. Call to action is check out my stunning online photo galleries, and then my phone number. So imagine if that description displayed here, that's going to get somebody to click on me before they click on somebody else because it's such a strong statement. Now you can edit that site description in the same place as your site title usually. In WordPress under Settings General, it might be your tagline. For me, it's in the All-in-One SEO pack under General Settings. You'll see a field called Home Description, or it might even be on your home page. If you go into the home page of your blog, you might have a title and description field attached to the page itself. And here's how that might look in search. Again, you've got a compelling title with keywords that people might search for, which will sometimes exclude your name because you're not trying to rank your homepage for your name. You have a lot of other pages that can do that. You're going to get a lot more business if your page ranks for your main keywords. So I exclude my name from the title and I use it in the description instead. The biggest thing photographers miss is getting enough text on the page. So if you have a page with no text, Google doesn't really have confidence that the page will answer the question that the user searched for. If I'm searching for a wedding photographer, I don't want to be taken to a page that has one sentence on it. I need information about a wedding photographer. So 300 words is kind of the industry standard for how much text Google would like to see. If you have 290 words, that's not going to be a problem. But the key is to try and get more text on your homepage. And if you've got a lot of photos on your homepage, if you just added captions, that would help get you toward that number. Also, your homepage should have all the information somebody would need to hire you. So a big part of search is not only ranking and getting people to click your rank, but they have to hire you once they come from search. And there's certain things they're looking for. They want to know who they're working with. This is the service industry. They want to see that you're established and credible, so showcasing awards and testimonials can establish trust. If we go back to the earlier example, something as simple as a badge will say you're certified, you're legit, or a testimonial, that can help as well. In an earlier recipe, we optimized your Google local listing, and you can help verify that listing by including the same information on your website, like your business name, address, phone, email. Here's an example, same website. At the bottom, we can see some address information. If you live in a house and you don't want to share your personal address with your clients, then go ahead and omit it. But the more things that you can connect or reinforce with your local listings, the better. Of course, put your best photos on your homepage. If you're using a blog, make sure that you're not just showing your latest posts, which may or may not be your best work. You want to have that first post be a sticky post. We'll talk about that a little later. But that will get your best photos near the top, because remember, this is going to be a first impression for people that are coming, and you need to show them your best work. A single image is just not enough. Also, if you're trying to rank, and you're trying to rank for photography, Google assumes the searcher wants to see a few photos and not just one. So if you can get a number of photos on your homepage, that's great. And remember to use the image optimization recipe to make sure those are all SEO friendly. If you don't want to show all your photos, like for every niche that you serve, like pets or boudoir, you don't have to include everything on your homepage. We can create other pages to rank for those things later. Add a call to action to make users do what you want. If you want them to hire you, you need a big button that says hire me. If you want them to look at your store or your pricing, you can position that high on the page. For me, I offer free downloads so people can sign up with their email address, and then I can market to them. I also promote my most popular posts because I figure if they see my best work, they're more likely to hire me. So just think about what do you want users to do, and add a call to action, whether it's a button or an image, something that tells them to do something. We know the importance of links for Google. Links indicate popularity. And when you link to your own pages, that tells Google which pages you think are the most valuable, and those will tend to rank higher. So pick 3, 5, 7 key pages that you want your users to see and that you want Google to consider to be your best work, and make sure your homepage links directly to those. It might be an individual blog post about a wedding venue that you're trying to tap into. It might be an ultra niche like tattooed brides, but get a number of links on your homepage to your key work. And when you write the link, phrase it so that not only people want to click it, but it's got some keywords in it as well, like get ideas in my best wedding gallery. That makes me want to see it as a user. And for Google, it's going to help you rank for best wedding gallery or ideas. Another example is view my most popular photo packages, because if people are looking at your prices, they're likely more interested. The next step I strongly recommend is to make your blog your homepage. Google likes pages that update frequently, so I don't like a splash page or a flat page with just links to your blog and your gallery and your Facebook page. Those never change, so Google has no reason to come back and see what's new. It also requires an extra step for your users to try and click to find something interesting. So if you have a splash page, take that information and just put it into a blog post that's stuck to the top of your blog and make your blog your homepage. Here's an article on how to do that. And if you're already on WordPress and your latest blog posts aren't showing on your main page, you can set that under Settings, Reading. So a blog will have more information with more images, text, and links, all things Google is looking for, and it'll give more material for your user to see without having to click. You want to optimize for speed. Google now has a speed test that's telling you how fast your page is. That's in Google Webmaster Tools, and they're going to penalize you if your page takes forever to load. So compress your images, and also if you've got a blog, consider abbreviating the posts instead of showing the whole thing. So for example, on my blog, these are just summaries of posts. It doesn't show the whole post. Back at Kristen's site, these are summaries of posts. So there's just one image and a little bit of text, and if you like Piper's shoot, you can click to view the rest of it. If you like this shoot, you can click to see it. But you don't have to scroll through 20 images from this session before you get to the next session. So to abbreviate posts like this, and to create a little link to view the rest of it, it's called the More tag. So you can look for WordPress on how to use the More tag to abbreviate your posts on the main page. Here's more information on that. So to recap the home page, you need a strong title using keywords that you want to rank for, a good description so people click through. You want to optimize your images and have a wide variety of images, enough text on the page, about 300 words, explaining who you are, what your services are, what you want users to do, and if at all possible, make your blog your homepage, since it's just structured better for search and users and mobile in general.